Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
We are ready for the event.
ACR, this is Mission Control. Houston, please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Houston ACR. How do you hear me?
We got you loud and clear. How us?
We hear you loud and clear. Please stand by for opening remarks.
Hi, I am Toy Massey, the founder and chief executive officer and visionary of the JEKL Institute for Global STEAM Equity and Access. With master's degrees in mechanical and nuclear engineering, research conducted in nuclear medicine, and a career that spanned industries of nuclear energy and aerospace, making the connection between engineering, medicine, and Mission 72's exploration goals was nearly seamless. JEKL intends to close the gap between access and opportunity for kids that look like me. Today, the Mission 72 crew allows us to envision our future selves, investigating pharmaceutical manufacturing and advanced life support systems on and off Earth, and perhaps one day eliminating the disparities we see today in health and medicine. And now we will take our first question.
Hi, my name is Beatrice. I go to DSST Conservatory Green High School, and my question for you is, what kind of resources do you have to support serious illnesses or injuries while in space?
So, before we launched to come to space, we're very healthy, and that's part of the, the selection process right from the very beginning. And then we really make strides to make sure that we're physically in shape and healthy to come up here. We actually are in quarantine for a couple of weeks to make sure that we don't bring any types of problems or diseases or bacteria, viruses to our fellow crewmates who might have been up here for a little while. But there is a chance that, somebody could get sick in space from something, who knows if, I don't know what, but anyway, they could get sick, and we do have a plethora of medical equipment. We're standing right next to our backboard where if anybody had a problem, we had to help them. We would actually use this, strap them down, and Nick right here is opening the medical locker, and we have lots of medical packs. In addition to all of this type of equipment, we have doctors on console and mission control all the time, so if we have a problem, we can give them a call, and we have lots of capability for telemedicine, obviously because we're doing research as well as, we're prepared in case anybody has a problem or gets sick up here.
Hello, my name is Jose Torres. I come from DSST Conservatory Green High School. My question to you is, do astronauts have specific assignments, such as who makes what repairs if needed?
To the greatest degree possible, we try to train so that we're interchangeable, that any crew member here could be assigned to any task. Of course, we have specialties, and we'd like to be specialists in everything, but there's just not enough time to train to be a specialist in everything we're going to do. So we kind of divide that workload. It takes about 2 years to prepare for a long-duration mission, just with the training that we receive on the ground, to be ready to respond to whatever we need to up here. And then if we're up here for 6 months, it's really hard to know exactly what you're going to do every day during those 6 months. And so we train for generic skills to be able to adapt and respond to whatever particular situation gets thrown at us.
My name is Nahom, and I go to DSST Conservatory Green High School. And my question for the astronauts in the ISS was, how natural was it adapting to your new environment in space?
So, both of us are pretty lucky because this is not our first flight. The first flight is always interesting, and you don't even know what to expect. Unfortunately, we don't have a great anti-gravity simulator on Earth. The closest thing we have is for spacewalking, doing that in a neutral buoyancy laboratory, which means a big pool. But beside for that, just the normal tasks that we do up here, how we float around, how we eat, how we sleep, it's hard to really imagine that. So your first flight, it takes a lot of getting used to just those normal things. But second flight, it's amazing how your brain just remembers. Like I was ready, I didn't feel so good on my very first flight when we initially got to space, so I was sort of ready for that, but my brain just went, hey, you've been here before, you're fine. And I adapted right away, and to the point that it's easy to fly around, it's easy to prepare meals, it's easy to do those natural things like go to the bathroom because you've done it before. So I think it's just a testament to the human body that it's able to adapt so well and remember things even after a number of years.
Hi, my name is Yasek, and I go to Conservatory Green High School. And my question is, how do you resolve surprising and unexpected experiences while working in space?
Well, I love the question because I think both of us can say we've responded to surprising and unexpected situations in space. And I think the thing that ultimately prepares us to respond to those is all of the training that we do leading up to it. 98% of the training we do is to respond to, what do we do when things go wrong? And we hope that they never go wrong. So we're always preparing for what's the next thing that could go wrong and how do we fix that or how do we avoid that. And so that preparation on the ground pays dividends up here when things end up surprising you.
My name is Chris. I go to JEKL, and my question for you guys is, what have you seen in space that you've never seen before?
Well, some of those things we can't tell you about. No, I'm just joking. I think one of the coolest things is actually looking out the window, and we have the opportunity to do that because we have this amazing cupola, right? It is a round window that looks down for the most part, and then 6 windows around, and so you can see the edge of the Earth, you can see into the universe. It's just spectacular. And, you can see aurora. I think everybody on Earth recently has seen aurora because of the solar activity. But it is just amazing from up here. We see it like coming into the Earth. So that's pretty spectacular. While we've been up here, we've also seen a comet. On sunrises and sunsets, you can see noctilucent clouds. I mean, looking out the window is just something special every single day you go. More recently, we've seen Starlink satellites, which is pretty cool. So there's all sorts of things to see that are surprising and interesting from this vantage point.
Hi, my name is McKenna, and I go to DSST Middle School. And does what you are doing in space help our environment on Earth?
Absolutely. The space station here is designed to do research. And some of that research is about the human body. Some of that research is about how do we live and work in space. And some of that research is observing the Earth and paying attention to it and learning about the Earth. And so we have sensors on the outside of the space station that look down, and NASA also has a fleet of satellites that helps measure the moisture and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere so that we can study what's going on. One of the things I think is fun for us to do, because it makes us feel like we're contributing to immediate impact, is when there's a natural disaster, we'll get notification of that location on the ground, and we'll provide imagery. We'll go to the windows and we'll take pictures of the natural disaster and send that down to the first responders so that it can help them respond to the situation. And that makes you really feel like you're part of that response. So it's a rewarding experience.
Hello, my name is Osman Ashmig. I am a senior at DST Montview. And my question is, I heard space feels like swimming. Do you mind describing that experience more? Thank you.
So it's sort of like swimming. You're sort of like a fish. You're sort of like a bird. That when you're swimming, you can pull your arm and you can move because there's a media right there, that water, right? Here you can't do that. Nick can demonstrate. If you move your arm, you're not going to really move. but it is like flying like a bird because you're going through the air. But you can turn yourself all around. It doesn't matter if you're upside right, upside down. If you're in your sleep station, for example, which has a closed door, there's one on the ceiling, one on the floor, one on either side. As soon as you shut that door, your frame of reference is the way you are, and it doesn't even matter. We sort of keep an upright frame of reference here in the space station just for orientation. Like letters are all written the same way. The lights are on the ceiling. But it doesn't really matter. If you turn yourself upside down, you can do the same things that you can do upside right, upside down. And we really take advantage of all that space on the walls, on the ceiling, on the floor. So I don't know. Your question was simply, what's it feel like? It's awesome. It's wonderful. There's lots of opportunities because of it.
Hi, my name is Milky. I go to DSST Conservatory Green High School, and my question is there a plan to use the ISS for educational purposes after it's retired?
You know, I think the whole space station is used to educate. Right now we're inside the U.S. laboratory, and so we have facilities that where we're studying material science. We have incubators where we're growing cells and cultures, and right over there, you know, you can't see it off the camera, is the coldest spot in the universe, or in our known universe. So it's one of these amazing places, and we bring that education. It's the showcase behind everything that we do. And so a big part of what we do is share that data, share that learning, and that's to the scientists on the ground, and that's also to the students in the schools.
Hi, my name is Alexa de la Vega. I am from Conservatory Green High School, and my question to you guys is, what is the most magical thing you have seen out the windows of the space station?
The most magical thing that you have seen out the windows of the space station.
Thank you. The most magical thing, I think, is probably the aurora, just because it just makes you think about the universe and where we are. But if we look out the window, most of the time we see water, and you can see that is really what dictates everything about human life and our planet. We're going to give you a little demonstration right here. Nick is going to show you what water in the form of orange drink looks like, because you can see it a little bit better. But water is fascinating in space. And it dictates everything about our planet. It dictates everything we do. We use water to separate hydrogen and oxygen to get air. We reclaim all the water through sweat and through urine, so that this closed system, humans can live on it. Water just really is everything about human life, and I think that is probably the most magical thing, is when you realize that for the first time and understand the physics of it. So it's pretty awesome.
Hi, my name is Dayanara Herrera Gomez. I attend Conservatory Green High School, and I'm a junior. How do you prepare? My question for you guys is, how do you prepare for an unexpected and unplanned extended stay?
I think I'm going to defer that question to Suni.
Sure, I'll take that one. So, you know, we planned on coming up here for about, 8 to 10 days, but we really thought it was going to be a couple of weeks, because when you do a test flight, there's always something that you learn and you might want to investigate a little bit more. Now, the idea of staying for 8 months was not really on the top of my mind when we initially signed up for this flight, but I've already been on the space station 2 other times for long duration flights, and like Nick said, we've all done the training so that we can do all the activities here, at least have the foundational knowledge so we can adapt and do some on-the-job training, OJT, while we're up here. Butch and I are both prepared for spacewalks or robotic operations, whatever the space station needs. And so once that decision was made, the mindset changes. You're like, okay, now I'm here for a while, so I got to settle in, I got to find all my clothes, find my food, make myself at home, and maybe slow down the pace a little bit so I know that I'm running a marathon and not a sprint anymore. But still, in the back of the mind is the test and evaluation attitude and understanding the situation where we're at and how we can make it better and offer some suggestions for future flights.
My name is Ethan and I'm from 11th grade. My question is it possible for astronauts to get space sickness from the movement of the spacecraft?
Space sickness, motion sickness, space adaptation sickness is a real thing, and it affects a majority of astronauts the first time that they get to space in the first day or two, as your body tries to adjust. Because inside our head, our inner ear is trying to decide which way is up and which way is down, and it uses gravity. And because we're floating, our inner ear can't really sense which way is up and which way is down, and so that disorients you a little bit, and it's different than how you look with your eyes. And so that miss between how you visually see things and what your inner ear is hearing, that makes you feel queasy, that makes you feel sick. But after a few days, and this is just miraculous how adaptable the human brain is, that after a few days, your mind just really stops listening to your inner ear, and it just uses visual cues. And so Suni just did that flip, and she finishes the flip, and it's like she never flipped at all. It's not like when you're on the ground and you're in a chair and you spin around and around and around, and then you stop the chair, but your eyes keep spinning. Up here, it's like you were never spinning at all, because your mind just isn't listening to a part of it that it trusted for years beforehand. So we are extremely adaptable.
Hi, my name is Harmony. Hi, my name is Melody. What is it like to see Earth on outer space?
So, people ask me what my favorite planet is, because I think people think you're going to say something like Saturn because it's beautiful, but I have to say Earth is the most wonderful planet. And Earth is awesome because I think about it, and you can be in your bathing suit on Earth, right? Other planets you can't be, because we are human beings. We grew up on Earth. Earth is just amazing. So when you look out the window and you see Earth below you, I was mentioning earlier a lot about the ocean and how amazing that is. But then you come across some piece of land, and you can't help but thinking, like, how did that form? Like, were those pieces put together and then they broke apart? How do the plates work? When I see the Himalayas, I think to myself, about India, it probably crashed in and it made this big wrinkle in the Earth. And it makes you look at the Earth from that perspective, more like a planet, and wondering how all that stuff happened. And it also, just, to tie make the bow there, it also makes you realize that that's where everybody we know is. Every person, every plant, every animal. And it's an amazing place, and it makes you more appreciative. I wish everybody had a chance to take a lap around our planet to see it from that perspective.
Hi, my name is Pablo Moreno, and my question is, how do you cope with the most challenging aspects of living and working in space?
Initially, when you think about the most challenging things we do, you think about the most complicated and most difficult tasks. And, fortunately, like, if you're thinking about something really complicated, it's doing a spacewalk. You focus in a spacewalk on the two people that go out to hatch and that do the spacewalk, but the reality is we have a team of hundreds of people that have helped train us and prepare us for that moment, and then are also supporting us real time. And so those challenges we handle as a team. And I think what my time on orbit has given me a perspective about is the challenges we face in life still involve a team, and it's the family and the friends and the loved ones that are there to support us through all the challenges that we face throughout our life, whenever they may happen, whatever they may be. That's where you have that support system, and that's probably one of the more difficult things. The downside of being on the space station is that separation from your family and your friends and loved ones.
That was amazing. Wasn't that amazing? I would like to thank NASA and the astronauts of the International Space Station for sharing their insights with our scholars, including the amazing DSST CubeSat team, the Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy, and the University Prep scholars, our elementary schools that are on their way. We would also like to thank today those who participated with us on site, our government leaders, our VIP aerospace leaders, and our distinguished community, boots on the ground, always there, prepared and mentoring our students, those leaders especially. We would like to thank the Denver Museum of Nature and Science for making this very possible for us to convene in one space and to enjoy this. And we would also like to thank over 10,000 students that have joined us today from across the state of Colorado and the United States. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes our event.
Thank you to all participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.